Hello, and welcome to the Growth Choices Workshop to support the Town of Southern Pines Comprehensive Long-Range Plan Update. My name is Ian Varley. The presentation that follows was used at the in-person event held at the E.S. Douglas Community Center on January 26, 2023. Please check the project website, www.southernpinesclrp.net, for access to all of the materials needed to participate in the Growth Choices Workshop. This slide presentation, various boards and maps used at the events, and the online survey created to formally collect feedback from participants. All of this information is available under the Growth Choices tab at the top line banner on the website. You can also email questions to Rachel Mann at plan@southernpines.net, and she will respond directly. Remember, the deadline for completing the online survey is February 28, 2023. The presentation is divided into 4 distinct categories, which will help participants understand their role in the comprehensive planning process, the information presented during the workshop event, and our request for input using an online survey. The survey will be used to capture community input and hone in on a preferred long-term vision for conservation, growth, and development in the town's planning area. Your feedback will directly impact the future land use map and its implementing policies and recommendations, including the new comprehensive long-range plan. The presentation lasts approximately 30 minutes, and you should review the different presentation boards online when it is finished. The online survey should take about 20 to 30 minutes to complete. The first topic in the presentation focuses on the big picture for updating a comprehensive long-range plan, including the project's purpose, topic areas addressed in the plan, the relationship of the comprehensive long-range plan to other town documents, and the value of scenario planning and likely impacts analysis to update a comprehensive long-range plan. The Comprehensive Long-Range Plan will be the official adopted statement for future conservation, growth, and development in Southern Pines. It will establish a long-term vision for the community, analyze existing conditions and emerging trends, set forth a framework for a future land use map that invites investment and does not overburden the town, and establishes a strategy for sensitive implementation. Recommendations in the document will be used to set public policy and provide a more predictable setting for public investment, private development, environmental consciousness, and returns on investment. The long-term horizon, about 20 years, keeps the document somewhat general. However, the broad range of topics and issues addressed in the plan make it a true playbook for town officials. Topics addressed in a comprehensive long-range plan are influenced, in part, by North Carolina general statutes, and specifically Chapter 160D in the general statutes. Local governments must reasonably maintain a comprehensive long-range plan for the jurisdiction to exercise its authority to adopt and enforce zoning regulations. The comprehensive long-range plan should present goals, policies, and programs intended to guide existing and future physical, social, and economic considerations, which may be influenced, in part, by growth, development, or conservation measures enacted in the jurisdiction. The term reasonably maintained is not defined in the general statutes. However, professional practice for comprehensive long-range plans recommends plan updates every 5 to 10 years. The frequency of plan updates may be influenced by the rate of growth or change in a community, or the influence of outside forces in and around the region where the jurisdiction is located. The general statute does not require specific elements or chapters in the comprehensive long-range plan. Nonetheless, general topic areas to address in the plan are suggested in the legislation. They include land use, recreation, economic development, infrastructure, housing, transportation, environment, and government financing, among others. Many communities throughout the state add or adapt to the rules and the legislation to address specific topics, conditions, or opportunities for their area. The ability to look across many topics at once in one single plan is an asset for the comprehensive long-range plan, and it allows the opportunity to both prioritize and balance needs within the community in a single document. It moves the community to intended outcomes and coordinated efforts for the future. Comprehensive long-range plans in North Carolina are adopted as a legislative action by the local governing board after a recommendation is made from the local planning commission. Future zoning amendments considered by the local government must include a statement of consistency with the adopted comprehensive long-range plan. However, the statement is advisory in nature and not subject to judicial review. The comprehensive long-range plan captures the community's vision for conservation, growth, and development in Southern Pines. It provides the first statements in a long line of steps needed to influence the type, timing, location, and intensity of development in the town's planning area. The vision and broad goals of the comprehensive long-range plan influence other, more detailed plans and studies used to study specific topics in more detail. Examples may include a transportation master plan, parks and recreation master plan, or geographic-specific land use studies. Each document prepared should be consistent with the vision and goals stated in the comprehensive long-range plan. Specific rules, requirements, and policies in the town's Unified Development Ordinance must also be consistent with the vision and broad goals of the comprehensive long-range plan. In essence, these documents translate the vision, goals, and policies in the comprehensive long-range plan into specific laws for Southern Pines. The laws are more detailed by nature and provide very specific actions, minimum requirements, or use restrictions that guide development. In some cases, In some zoning cases, the approving government body must cite findings of fact to accompany their decision that reference, in part, statements in the local comprehensive long-range plan. In most communities, the comprehensive long-range plan also influences directly the revenues and expenditures of the local government. The different types, patterns, and intensities of development envisioned in the comprehensive long-range plan generate wealth for the government in terms of different taxes and fees. The intensity and location of development in the town also influences the cost and timing for providing new or expanded infrastructure to keep pace with development. The most important component of a comprehensive long-range plan is the future land use map. It depicts preferred conservation and development areas for the town, assuming full build-out of the community. Nothing remains vacant on the map when designating preferred development types, patterns, or intensities. The map provides a physical framework to more effectively realize the vision and guiding principles stated in the comprehensive long-range plan. Some recommendations in a future land use map can be somewhat bold and set a long-term direction to follow for a more diverse development portfolio. One that is forward-thinking, focused on community character and environmental stewardship, mindful of supporting infrastructure, and aware of residents' quality of life and aimed to be financially rewarding for the town. The future land use map is not a zoning map. Some areas on the map may reflect what currently exists today. Some are more aspirational in nature, and others are a mix of what exists today and what could be in the future. The build-out of the future land use map is a long-term endeavor, whereby it might be many, many decades before all of the land in the planning area is developed, redeveloped, or preserved. In some cases, areas may not be developed at all. Sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. This slide depicts an intended outcome for a community that wants to be mixed use and walkable, with public spaces throughout the area for community use, and buildings that reinforce a specific style or brand. This does not happen by accident, and the town's ability to reclassify and reprioritize individual land use, density, and infrastructure topics as contributing factors for a defined and holistic community character should lead to more intentional outcomes for Southern Pines as it grows and develops, with a clear term and expectation for its character, history, uniqueness, environmental resources, and authenticity. The town's comprehensive long-range plan relies on scenario planning and likely impacts analysis to evaluate different options for the community, measure their impacts, and evaluate the trade-offs for fulfilling a stated goal and guiding principles for the comprehensive long-range plan. The process starts at the same place, with an existing conditions analysis to know where the town stands today. It also ends at the same place, with a future land use map to include in the comprehensive long-range plan document. Everything in between is flexible. The 6 alternative futures presented for the workshop build on the thoughts, ideas, and opinions expressed so far in the comprehensive planning process. We will talk more about that in later slides. Ultimately, our goal for scenario planning to support the comprehensive long-range plan is simple. The scenario planning process and the choices it considers should empower the community with more information and more confidence to make decisions about its future. And don't worry, you do not need to pick one scenario as the winner for the town's future. Each purposely stretches options available in different directions to provide choices for the community. A hybrid scenario for Southern Pines will be developed from one or more parts of the 6 scenario concepts presented at the Growth Choices workshop on January 26, 2023. Community feedback from the workshop, various office hour events held at the public library after the workshop, or the online survey will be shared with the Community Advisory Committee. They will work with town staff and the consultant to refine planning themes and topics that will influence the hybrid scenario. The hybrid scenario will be shared with the community in a draft comprehensive long-range plan document. Like I said earlier, the future land use map that evolves from our discussions at the Growth Choices workshop will serve as a core component to the comprehensive long-range plan. The preferred development types, locations, patterns, and intensities depicted on the map will generate demand for new facilities, services, or initiatives to support the concept. You see on the slide the relationship of the future land use map to other elements of the comprehensive long-range plan. Each must respond directly to the demands associated with the map and recommend goals or policies in response so that the town is well positioned to determine its own future.